What's up guys, Carl Toby here. Just wanted to make a quick video on this All-Star Game Eve. Um, so I'm getting closer to 100 subscribers. I want to thank everybody that's joined my channel in the past week or so. We've ramped up pretty quick. I was stuck at about 70 something and but I'm at 93 now, so only 7 more subscribers to go before we have our giveaway, which is the Vita Blue autographed card from Team Tops. I also said I was going to give away a BJ Ryan autograph card if we reach 25 likes on that video. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so, if you go back to a video called 100 subscriber giveaway, it gives you the details there. Basically all you have to do is comment on the video and like it, and you'll automatically be entered into the drawing for the cards. So what I have here tonight is just the last of the boxes from my friend that gave me a whole tub full of cards. I went through all the other boxes. There was really nothing interesting in them, just a lot of junk wax. I pulled out my Mets. There was a couple boxes there was like one box of 1991 Pro Set, so there's not much in there. Then there was also like basketball cards, which I don't really collect. So I just kind of went through them, logged them, and moved them aside. But I like this particular box because it was a pretty interesting mix of cards. And I'm gonna do a little, you'll get a little preview here. These are my PC cards, so there were some Pinnacle cards for the Flyers that I could add to my collection for Dominic Roussel and Rod Brindamore. There's a 93, I think, 93 or 92 or 93 Top Stadium Club football for Sean Landeta and Derek Brown for Giants. There's a 93 Upper Deck. Yes, 93 Upper Deck. Mike Maddox. Then we have these Leaf Studio, which are actually pretty sharp compared to, they're not the glamour shots of the earlier Leaf editions. I actually kind of like these with the big logos in the back. So we got Johnny Franco and Todd Hundley. Then these cards right here are the ones that really kind of interested me, and you'll see when we get, obviously these are 93 SP. We got a Dwight Gooden, a Vince Coleman, and a Howard Johnson. Whenever you're going through collections, if you see 1993 Upper Deck, you have to, your palms got to start sweating a little bit in hopes that you're going to pull a Derek Jeter rookie card, the foil card. It's, if it grades out really high, which they're really hard to do because they're very condition sensitive, that's a very, very good, card, very pricey card to pull. So we'll see if we got one in there. And then there's this Baseball Heroes, it's a Willie Mays subset when he was traded to the Mets. So that's also going on my Mets PC. So let's get the box out, see what we got. Move these back a little bit. And let's get right to it. So the first batch of cards are these classic draft picks. There's some good rookies in here, but again, I don't collect basketball that much. I know Chris Webber, that's probably that one, and there's an Anthony Hardaway, there's a Tony Kukoc. Let's see what else, George Lynch, Irvin Johnson, but not the original. Another George Lynch, Allen Houston. We keep going through this. Ron Curry, Byron Russell. Some of these names I remember. I used to watch a lot of basketball back in the day. Loved college basketball as well as pro basketball equally. I kind of got out of the sport, at least the pro basketball when Jordan retired. Just didn't see this, being the same as it was. Prefer the college game. It's more up and down the court, more fast-paced. It seems like every trip up and down the court seems like it means something. Not so in the pro game, really. At least, not that I was noticing when I was still watching. Let's see, there he is, Anthony Hardaway. So in this little grouping of cards, there's an Anthony Hardaway and Chris Webber draft pick cards. I think they're each worth like $1 a piece or something, but primarily the rest of that pile is not worth too much, and will be going in a box to be sold with the rest of my basketball cards. Let's see. So next up, we got these Classic 4 Sports. Again, there's not, I think it's the Robert Smith. Yeah, it's Robert Smith. They're neat little cards. They span the 4 major sports. They don't have a ton of. There's Willie Roaf. A ton of huge star power in them, and these cards, because they're mass produced, just like all the others in this period of time, don't really hold their values. George Teague, and let's see, Chris Gratton, Curtis Conway. Yep, that is Curtis Conway. So, and there's Mark Brunell. Always in their college uniform, Shane Matthews, Roosevelt Potts, Coleman Rudolph. Yep, Coleman Rudolph. Tony Kukoc. So they're, interesting additions to anybody's player or team PC, especially if you collect college players. I know that there are collectors out there that collect, they're big on college football, not as big on the pro football. And, they will always want to collect the players in the college uniforms. So this is a good product for that. Again, nothing of huge value in here at all. So we'll move on from this. And we'll get to the next, which are these 93 Upper Decks. And let's see what we got here. I don't know if there's really any. There's Fred McGriff. Yeah, these are always nice cards as far as I'm concerned. Upper Deck, they always put out a good product from the moment they first hit the market back in '89. They really kind of put everybody else in the hobby on notice that this was going to be the future of the cards. Really caused Topps to kind of step up their game and start issuing the Topps Stadium Club with the better photography, the better stock, the glossy, so. Credit Upper Deck for that, for changing the hobby. Not a lot of huge value in these cards. They've been, so overproduced like everything else in the junk wax era. But there is one card here towards the end. And there it is. So this is a Chipper Jones, star rookie. Not one of his pricier rookie cards, but it's still a nice card to have. And there's a Javi Lopez right behind it. So that's probably the best card of that batch. I'll move on to, there's some Fleer Ultra in here. Fleer Ultra, again, when they first came out, the cards are very bland. Not much to them, but then just like the other card companies, once Upper Deck hit the market, they all started to ramp up their game, and these later Fleer Ultra cards, the 92, 91, 92, 90, or no, sorry, not 91, but like 92, 93, and beyond were really kind of excellent cards. It's just, they look great. The backs have 2 color photos, a posed and an action shot. There's only 1 year's worth of stats on them though, but I always like that little logo with the baseball with the fire. So not much in this little short section here. Next is these are the studios. There's Rafael Palmeiro, Darren Dalton, Mitch Williams, Wild Thing. There's John Crook, Ozzie Smith, Hall of Famer. It's a nice looking card. Lou Whitaker, Kurt Schilling, that's Sprague, yep. There's Albert Bell, so that's Mickey Morandini. So, oh, and then they had these heritage cards in them, so which kind of cool. The players in their throwback uniforms. So it's an insert. Barry Larkin, that's Hall of Famer. Nice little card. Then there's just this random O-Pee-Chee card in there, Ryan Sandberg. So of course, you know, it's a nice looking card and it's a Hall of Famer. So that'll be going in the Hall of Fame set. Then we go to these Bowman. So, you know, again, this was, what, 93 Bowman. It got some of the cards have the foil. Nothing really huge in here either, I don't think. Guzman. There's Don Mattingly. Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer. Harold Baines, Hall of Famer. Bernie Williams. Bernie Williams is like one of those players. He's, I mean, if you talk to any Yankee fan, they'll tell you that Bernie was, you know, key to those teams in the '90s and like how great a player he was and how great a Yankee he was. But obviously did not have a Hall of Fame type of career. So you can see not much there. Then we have Fleer Flair, another great cards. These are like, you know, slightly thicker stock. They even got thicker stock, like as they, you know, the years went along. Just beautiful photography. You know, the names of the players gets a little lost in there, but you know, when it comes to a quality card, then you really cannot go wrong with Fleer Flair. So there's a Jeff Conine, Jim Abbott, Mike Devereaux, there's a Ron Gant, Scott Cooper, Mike Bordick, Kevin Brown, it's a really good pitcher, Rich Amaral, Ken Caminiti, rest in peace, and Eric Karras. Let's see, so now here's this, this is the Willie Mays set that I pulled that one Mets card out of. It's not a complete set, there's some dupes in here, but I always like these cards, you know, kind of paying homage to the different, you know, different milestones that he reached. And then we get to the SPs. So I literally, when I saw these cards, I was freaking out. I know my friend picked over these, but we saw in one of the other boxes that I opened that he did leave behind the junior rookies and the 93 score. I had to believe that he was not going to make that mistake another time. He did say he had one after I asked him from a previous, you know, from another box. It was not the same cards that he got these out of. So there's a Javi Lopez, you know, there's the rookie prospect. I think that's what they're called. But there's a Nolan Ryan. That is Alex Gonzalez. There is Russ Davis. There's a Ken Griffey Jr. Sweet looking card. There's two of them. The Barry Bonds. And that's Roger Cedeno. Aaron Seeley. So there were those foil rookie cards in there, but no Jeters. And rest of the cards are just, I think, it's, I don't know, there's Biggio. It's a cool card. Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer. Chili Davis, hitting coach for the Mets. Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer. Another Craig Biggio. Stan Eckersley, Hall of Fame. Randy Johnson, Hall of Famer. So a decent amount of Hall of Famers that I'll be pulling out of here. Ozzie Smith, Roger Clemens, Paul Molitor. Roger Clemens still, even though he's not in the Hall, he's still you know, one of those guys that people collect. Nolan Ryan again. And we finish off with these. Darren Lewis, Ron Carcabice, Mario Duncan, David Cohn, Jack McDowell, great pitcher. Cecil Fielder, Bo Jackson, Tom Glavine, Hall of Fame, Sonny Oldroyd, Ivan Rodriguez, Hall of Fame. Ken Griffin Jr. again. So, oh, there's John Crook. Okay. I have somebody that collects, I know somebody that collects John Crook, so I'll have to check his list and see if he's got that one. So, then we move on to, there are some football cards in here. Oh, so it's hockey first. So these are Fleer Ultra Hockey. Oh, this looks like it's a mishmash cards. So we got a Pinnacle, John Elway. There's a Derek Thomas, Reggie White. So again, nice cards. I'll go through and pull out like any of the Hall of Famers. It's amazing with football, like the Hall of Famers, the defensive players. A lot of defensive players do not, you know, have as big a dollar value on them as, you know, the offensive players, predominantly quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers. Offensive linemen obviously have very little value, even if they're Hall of Famers. Defensive linemen, same thing, unless they're, you know, sack leaders, that type of thing. Defensive backs don't have a ton of value either, despite how many great defensive backs that there were out there, like Ronnie Lott. You know, you'd think his cards, his rookie card might not be worth a lot. There's Jerry Rice. Would be a lot, and you know, it's worth a decent amount, but not like some you see with some of these cards nowadays, like Pat Mahomes. Marcus Allen, Randall Cunningham. That's Chris Carter, Hall of Famer. All right, there's that. A little mix of hockey and football. So here's some Pro Set Live. Not a lot to these in terms of value. It's a classic Pro Line Live, Pro Line Live. John Elway, John Williams, Russell Maryland, Neil Anderson, Mark Duper, Reggie Freeman, Dana Hall, Cleveland Gary, Eric Allen, Lorenzo White, Sam Mills. Yeah. Nothing huge along the lines of rookies or anything. Let's just pull this all out of here, finish this up as quickly as we can. More classic Pro Line Live. And then we get into some Upper Deck football. Michael Irvin. Now we got some Skybox. So there's a John Copeland rookie. I don't think there were any big rookie cards in here either. There's Art Monk, Hall of Famer. Art Monk is, you know, he's very underappreciated Hall of Famer in terms of card value. And then we get to the Pro Line portraits. These are always interesting cards. It looks like a Christmas card photo. That is Steve Berline riding a jet ski. There's Shannon Sharp. It's always interesting. Apparently, we have an amateur detective and Eric Curry. All right, and back to basketball. Dale Davis, Hakeem Olajuwon, Sean Kemp, Robert Horry, Tom Gugliotta, X-Man, another Dominique Wilkins, Kenny Smith. Used to know every player in the NBA, every single name, every player. Kevin Johnson, George Lynch. So there's a whole host of basketball cards that are going to be going into the box to be sold. I'm going to hopefully sell them as one huge lot. Oh, these are newer Topps cards. Archives, these are archives. There's Kevin Johnson, all the different top styles. And we got some NBA hoops cards. Not a whole lot of value to these. I think I've pulled out any Michael Jordan cards already out of another batch that he had. I do PC Michael Jordan, so I'll always collect his stuff. His cards and collectibles will never go down in value. There's actually one with Jordan on it. I'm gonna pull that one. I might have to go back through these. Scoring leaders. Dominique. So I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else in here. And then just more basketball. It's 93, 94 Fleer. I've opened so many boxes of these. It's not even funny. I had a friend who worked for Fleer, and he gave me like 3 or 4 boxes of this stuff. I think I've completed the set like 3 times over. So, you know, I've got a lot of the rookie cards out of here. I think Chris Webber's one, and Anthony Hardaway again. He's, you know, another probably the big get out of that set. So that's it, guys. You know, hope you enjoyed looking at that stuff with me. You know, if you want to, you can always reach out to me if you saw anything that, you know, you might be interested in. I'm always willing to work out a trade. So, you know, you can reach out to me in the comments. And like I said, don't forget the giveaway as soon as I reach 100 subs. The Vita Blue autograph card and the BJ Ryan card. Please give my 100 subscriber video a like, and you know, make sure you have a comment in there so that I know that you watched it. And as always, take it easy, and I will see you guys soon.